Assalamu alaikum, teacher.
Walaikum salam. Good morning, Nishad. Good morning, Dahir.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, teacher and Nishad.
How are you all doing today?
Yeah, good morning. Tahir.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, teacher. Good. How about you, teacher? Thanks for asking.
I'm quite good. Thanks for the same question. Okay, so welcome, Dahir. Is it your second class, Dahir?
Yeah, it's my second class.
And Nishad, is it your third or second?
Uh, teacher, today is our first class in this month, but to be more exact, this is my 8th class. Yeah, maybe 9th. I
Oh,
missed one class.
all right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. I think I covered the speaking part, right, for you, Nishad?
Ye- Yes, teacher. I
Task
covered with the speaking part.
1, 2, and 3.
Yes, teacher.
And for Dahir, maybe we'll go through a little bit speaking part, and then we'll go for writing section.
Mhm.
Okay, Dahir, are you planning to sit for the IELTS exam in the future?
Yeah.
Sorry for interruption, teacher. I can see Shajjad is here. Shajjas or Shajas?
I invited him, but
Shajas.
yeah, he's not, accepting my invitation. I invited him already. So if you're here,
Okay, teacher.
yeah, he just subscribed to me a while ago, a few minutes ago, I should say. If you are
Mhm.
here, please make a comment or send me open request, because I don't see him on the screen anymore. Can you see him, Nishad? And
Yes, teacher. I can see. I can see.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's my Shajas. Okay, yeah. Great. So welcome to the session. I'll speaking and writing. These lessons are mostly, developed for the rubrics of your speaking and writing. And Dahir and Nishad, as you might be aware, IELTS exam is not only knowing the English but also knowing the rubrics, how you can use those tips and techniques.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I go briefly, Dahir, in IELTS speaking part, there are 4 rubrics they give marks and they assess. Number 1, your fluency and coherence. Number 2, which is 25%. Number 2 is using different kinds of vocabulary, another 25%. Number 3, using correct grammar and wider ranges of grammar, another 25%. And the last one is pronunciation for 25%. Remember that most of our learners are confused about this word, pronunciation and accent. So pronunciations are only 2 types of pronunciation around the world. One of them is British IPA, British Phonetics English, International Phonetic Alphabets. Another one is US IPA, American International Phonetics Alphabets. And accent is the way you're talking. Okay, you may talk according to the IPA or not, that doesn't matter, but you're talking in your own way. Okay, so it's better to focus on pronunciation rather than your accent. So there are thousands of accents. Every person has their own accent. Every country has their own accent. Every community, even in one country, there are many different accents. Okay, like in Bangladesh, there are 60 different kinds of dialects. In the UK, there are more than 38. In the US, there are more than 46. Okay, so
Yes,
similarly,
teacher.
Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and many other countries, European countries as well. Okay, if you've got any question, please always stop me and I'll be happy to answer it. Tahir and Nishad. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Before that, I'm going to explain first what does fluency and coherence means. There is a video from the British Council. I'm going to share it. I'm sure that I have not shown it before. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, teacher.
So let me know if you can see it clearly.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Congratulations! Success starts with IELTS. The speaking test is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is the introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn, and Part 3 is an analytical discussion. It's important to understand the criteria on which you will be tested in the IELTS exam. First, we consider the criteria of fluency and coherence. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. We'll cover the other 3 in later videos. Fluency and coherence refer to your ability to speak at length, including organizing ideas logically and appropriately signposting. It also refers to your ability to express and justify opinions and to discuss and speculate about issues without long pauses or repetition of the same words. Signposting is the use of words or phrases that indicate the direction of your thoughts. We will give you some examples of this in a moment. Many students try memorizing large portions of speech to repeat during the speaking test, but this can add unnecessary stress and sound unnatural. We don't recommend this approach. Here are a few tips to improve your speaking test performance. As you are speaking about a topic, build on your point of view by adding a few details. For example, if the question is, "What do you do?" rather than responding with, "I am a teacher," you might expand this to, "I have been a high school mathematics teacher in New York for over 5 years." For part 2 of the test, use the bullet points on the task card to help you structure your long turn and make notes in the 1 minute that's given using key words. In part 3 particularly, it is important to develop your answers and to speak at length. You can do this by thinking of reasons, effects, comparisons, supporting examples, and personal experience. Just make sure you are signposting what you say. For example, discussing excessive TV watching, you might mention reasons, increasing numbers of TV channels compared to a generation ago, and the popularity of TV characters. Effects, increasing obesity levels, eyesight problems, and other health issues. Experience, my nephew watches nothing except cartoons. He will not study. Here are some examples of signposting for part 3 of the test. Compare-contrast. In my view, there are 2 main differences. Responding to a point. Yes, I agree because, or I'm not sure I agree with that. You see, speculating on the future. I think we'll probably see a lot of, or maybe there'll be more, or it's unlikely that we will have. Practice is the key to increasing your fluency. There are no shortcuts. Practice using English in everyday communication as much as you can. Record yourself talking about different subjects. Then play it back and listen for linking expressions, hesitation, words you may be repeating, and times when your speech is slow. This will help improve your fluency. The assessment criteria is the only thing on which you will be tested. You will not be assessed on your appearance, body language while speaking in the exam, or your creative ideas. IELTS examiners are very consistent with their application of the IELTS assessment criteria. It is the same assessment given everywhere in the country and everywhere in the world. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, Lexical Resources, Grammatical Range and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Okay, what have you understood from here, Tahir?
Teacher.
Yeah. I have understood to some tips. Usually, when you are speaking, you didn't use a word to repeat more time. Also, you have to explain or give examples when you are speaking, and also you have to summarize whatever you are telling, whether it's history, whether it is about yourself, you have to summarize
Mm.
and use clear language.
Mm-hmm.
I understood.
Okay. And how about you, Nishad?
Yes, teacher. This topic was like lexical resource and fluency. Yes, teacher. We
Yeah.
need to gather ideas, and we need to logically, not only ideas. We need to speak and ideas need to speak on this, and we need to practice every single day, and we need to talk different topics, and we need to record it ourselves where we can like get improve ourselves, like we are repeating word or not, something like that. And fluency is need, and they judge our fluency as well as where we are stressing, where we should not stress and where we should stress, something like that, teacher.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Someone has sent me a request. If you're not my subscriber, I'm not going to accept it, unfortunately, because this is a class for my students. So you have to join in my public live stream. I'm sorry, I have to decline you. Okay. All right. So yeah, remember that do not be limited to yes or no answer when you're answering. Use the pattern when you have been asked the question. If there is an example like, what do you do? Simply saying, I'm a teacher. Say, I've been teaching like primary level for the last 5 years in New York school. Okay, so remember to elaborate your answer rather than saying, I'm an English teacher, I'm a businessman, I'm a working professional. Okay, so always elaborate with compound sentence. Remember, that is very important. I explained it quite a few times, guys. If you like to get good marks on our speaking and writing, you must know how to write compound sentences and how to create compound sentences. Okay, straight away. Is that clear and understandable?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
teacher,
Tips number
I
2,
understand.
in every question there is a grammar pattern and there is a tense they used. You must use the same tense, same pattern if you would like to answer it correctly. For example, if you have been asked, how did you come to this test center today? What would be your answer, Dahir?
Uh, in my answer would be I had used it, a train, and then I take a bus to read there in this station or in this center
Okay,
when, and it takes me 1.5 hour.
1.5 hours. Remember, 1.5. We don't say one
Yeah.
and a half, 1.5 hours. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. And how about you, Nishad?
Yeah, teacher, should I elaborate? It is not a key card question, yes, teacher.
It is a test, speaking task 1 question.
Okay. Um, today I booked Uber, and uh, I reached this test center before half an hour. The exam will be held, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah. So remember, because it is a you know question from the past, how did you come here to the test center? And obviously, you must use the past tense, and that is the important part of your answer. You see, using correct grammar, using the vocab, and using the pronunciation is the 4 criteria for IELTS speaking test. Great. Let's go to the next one, which is speaking lexical and vocabulary.
You've decided to take the IELTS exam. Great choice. It's the test that opens doors around the world. Here we look at the criteria of Lexical Resource. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. Look for the other 3 criteria in other videos. Lexical Resource focuses on the range of vocabulary a candidate uses. The wider the range, the better you will score. You will need to understand these factors to score well on the test. The ability to use vocabulary effectively, including the right collocation, that is, words naturally used together. For instance, Lions roar. Lions do not shout. Alternatively, we make a phone call. We do not do a phone call. An awareness of connotation. This refers to the positive, neutral, or negative associations some words have. For example, laid back, positive. Inactive, neutral. Lazy, negative. Slim, thin, skinny. The use of less common vocabulary or expressions. Many candidates memorize impressive lists of vocabulary, but often end up using them in the wrong way because they haven't understood them properly. To improve your vocabulary, we recommend these steps. Always try to learn new vocabulary when reading in English. Look out for new words. Seeing words in their context helps you learn the meaning, usage, and collocation. Online newspapers are a good resource. These can also help you keep up on the vocabulary of current affairs. Group new vocabulary into related subjects and learn these together, rather than making long lists of unrelated words. For example, make a list of words about sports. Using mind maps often helps with this. Learn more synonyms. These are words or expressions which have a similar meaning. Knowledge of synonyms will help with all parts of the IELTS test. Try using a thesaurus. Make small word cards. The word written on one side of the card and the translation and an example sentence on the other side. You can then test yourself. Practice is the key. Not to memorize, but to practice discussing different topics, weaving in the vocabulary you have learned. Research shows practice improves test scores. Don't give up if you can't find the right word. Keep trying to explain what you mean, even if it takes a little longer. This is called paraphrasing. You will get credit for this. IELTS speaking tests include general, everyday topics. Specialist knowledge isn't expected. The topics are relevant to all of the 135 countries in which IELTS is used. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, Fluency and Coherence, Grammatical Range and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Great. So, what have you understood, Dahir?
Yeah, teacher, in this one, it relates for vocabulary, and when you know more vocabulary, it's easy to explain or to use what we call any topic that you are talking. So, and practicing for that vocabulary, it will be easier for you to explain whatever you are talking. I understood only that.
Okay. All right. How about you, Nishad?
Yes, teacher, like we learn new vocabulary from reading books, not exactly memorizing a group of vocabulary, not like that. We need to learn vocabulary from reading books, and we need to make a sentence of it. And another thing, we need to select a topic, like as they mentioned, football, and like we need to list football related vocabulary, something like that. So that's how we can improve our vocabulary skill, or gathering some vocabulary. We learned some vocabulary from, if we talk about global warming, then we need to all the list like global warming related vocabulary. Then we can discuss about this vocabulary like topic, then the word will come automatically. Yes, teacher.
Thank you very much. That's right. Both of are correct, partly. So remember that in both of the videos, they have used the word practice. By practicing is the only way you can develop your confidence level and your communication skill, as well as your vocabs, your speaking style, your strategies. Okay. So this part mainly deals, you have explained both of them. More synonyms you have to know, and sometimes it is said many students learn vocabs, wide range of vocabulary, but they don't know how to use it. So they ended up using it incorrectly or wrongly. If you do that, you're not going to get good marks. Remember that. If you know a word, but you don't know how to use it, then most likely that you're not going to get marks. They have mentioned three things. I'm just referring. Yeah? Context, then collocation, and connotation. Did you notice that? These three words they have used. So depending
Yes,
on the context, one word may have different meaning. Okay, let me give you a good example, like this word off. Yeah, this could be a preposition, this could be an adverb, this could be a noun, this could be an adjective. So when we know how to use it correctly, only in that case it is used correctly. Like I'm off now, for example. I am off now. Look here, off
yes,
is an adjective. That means I'm going for a holiday or I'm finished for the day. It could be two meaning. Like I'm off now from my office. That means today my duty is finished. Did you get my point? But if I say I'm off to
yes,
my holiday to New York, that means I'm going for a vacation in New York. So, and this is called collocation. Collocation means when some words have to take other words naturally, then we call it collocation. For example, after listen, we use always the preposition to. Similarly, after subscribe, we must use the preposition to. This is collocation, okay? And also, they showed an example, lions roar. Yeah, they don't shout, but humans shout. Humans do not roar. But if somebody writes humans shout, yes, sorry, humans roar, then it will be incorrect, okay? Humans shout.
mhm,
So these are just examples, okay? And remember that the more you know synonyms, it will be wiser for you. Okay, let me give you a test for both of them, this part, lexical resources. Um, Describe yourself, Dahir.
Uh, I'm Dahil. I came from Somalia. I live in Istanbul. I had graduated a university in 2016. And I had worked at a hotel uh, with logistics and procurement department. And now I'm planning to study English language, and then I'm going to uh, join a master degree. So in the near future, I would like to master or to get IELTS certificate. So that's all. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, how about you, Nishat?
yes, teacher. Um, my name is Nishad Islam. I'm from Bangladesh. To be more exact, I live in Bogura, and I have recently graduated. My major was finance and banking. Now I'm preparing IELTS and for my higher education, for my higher studies. Yes, teacher. Yeah. Anything else?
You can hear a little bit more, both of you. Remember that when somebody says describe yourself or introduce yourself,
Okay, teacher.
so remember
I can add something, teacher.
yes, yes. Hang on a moment. Let me finish it for both of you. So if somebody says describe yourself or introduce yourself, or may I have your introduction, please? So tell your name, where are you from, what do you do, your occupation. You can add some of likings and dislikings, some of your future plans, maybe, but do not use this information. Avoid it. Telling your age, not important. Telling your religious or political beliefs, not important. Telling how much money do you get, not important. Do not tell your marital status, not important. Rather than tell something else, like uh, what do you like, what do you dislike, and how to spend your free time, okay, and what you're going to do in the future. Clear?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
teacher, clear.
So would you like to add this part, Dahir, first, then I'll come back to Nishat.
Yeah. I would like to become in the near future
You'd like
a
to be
global youth leader, or especially in my country, I would like to I would like to work as a civil servant in the near future. Also, I would like reading anytime when I have a time. I would like reading. Also, I didn't use or play football. I dislike absolutely for playing football. So that's all from my
okay.
side.
Remember, do not use that's all when you're having IELTS test. Yeah, you'll
Okay.
finish it slowly. I'd like to play football. Just give a pause.
Okay.
Then the examiner will understand you have finished. Nisha, this is good point. Many times I have listened to many learners. They say that that's all about me. Okay, you don't have to tell that that's all or that's all about me. Just finish it and give a pause for 1 or 2 seconds, and the examiner will be able to understand it's finished. Okay, Nisha, your turn.
Okay. I'm Nishad Islam. I'm from Bangladesh. To be more exact, I live in Bogura. I've just completed my graduation. My major was finance and banking, and now I'm preparing IELTS, and I'm ready to take my higher education in Finland. And I usually spend my free time with reading books and playing games with my friend. And in the near future, I want to be an entrepreneur. And yeah, teacher.
Okay, well done. Remember, we don't. You have used a preposition with reading books. We don't say reading book with readings by reading books. Okay,
Bye. Okay, okay,
with
teacher.
friends, that's fine. Remember, preposition is the hardest part of English grammar, but we need to use it correctly. By reading books with my friends, that's fine. And how to spend your free time? Hello, see you, June. Thank you very much for the donation. How do you spend your free time? This is one of the common questions in IELTS exam. Task one. Let us go to Dahir first.
So, teacher,
How do you spend your free time?
uh, in my free time, I spend mostly uh, sightseeing. I'm going outside normally when I have the time. Uh, Normally, I visit uh, places that people are gathering, especially like tourist places in Istanbul. Also, when I come back my home and I have a free time, I search a lot in internet. I'm going to Google it, whatever I need it, and sometimes I read articles, uh, newspapers. Uh, okay,
Are you finished?
done. Yeah,
Okay. Because you're saying but if you want to finish it, stop it straight away instead of lingering the
okay,
sound. Okay. All right. Okay.
okay.
Yep. Well done. And how about you, Nishat? How do you spend your free time?
Okay, teacher. Being a student, I usually don't get much free time in my schedule. But if I get free time, then most of the time I usually read read, I usually read a books with different stories and psychology books. And apart from this, I gossip with my um, family members. And yeah, I go to with my uh, friends. We different places. Teacher.
Okay. All right. A good answer, both of you. Remember that when you're speaking, Dahir and Nishat, be confident in speaking. Okay, but if you don't be nervous, number one rule, number one, even if you're making mistakes, that is okay, that's acceptable in speaking. But if you can correct it, that is also would be amazing, you know. Like instead of saying he go, you say he goes, you know, or he goes, you say he go, then correct it straight away if you think that it is correctable. It is really a vital factor for you to focus on your communication, how you answer it. Remember that in every questions of IELTS exam, especially task 1 and task 3, there will be only maximum 30 to 40 seconds time to answer it. So you have to answer to the very best way, because you need to get good score. You need to to get your required score to get admission or scholarship in different countries, in foreign countries. Okay, great. Let's
Okay, teacher.
move to the next part, which is grammar. Okay.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Good for you. It's the test for study, work, and life. The IELTS speaking test is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 is an introduction and general questions. Part 2 is the long turn, and Part 3 is an analytical discussion. Here we look at the criteria of grammatical range and accuracy. Look for the other 3 criteria in other videos. This criteria focuses on the range and accuracy of the test taker's grammar while speaking. Look for our accompanying downloads for examples of the range of grammatical structure. The range of grammar includes using a variety of complex structures. These are sentences with multiple bits of information. Contrast that to separate, simple sentences with a single piece of information. For example, just beside the station was a stadium which was built in the 19th century and where games are now held every weekend. It isn't expected that candidates are 100% accurate. However, control is important. The Band 7 definition for grammatical range and accuracy says, frequently produces error-free sentences, though some grammatical mistakes persist. It's not just the number of grammatical mistakes, but also how seriously these mistakes block communication. To improve your grammar, take these steps. Be prepared. Make sure that you know the speaking test format and what type of questions to expect in each section. Many tasks in Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test relate to the past, so you most likely use past tenses. Ensure you know the past tenses of common verbs. Some questions in Part 3 ask you to speculate about the future, so use the right tenses in the answers to reflect this. Look out for the British Council's Johnny Grammar apps and videos that can help explain the commonly used tenses for you. Practice. Particularly think about the tenses you use. Ensure these relate to the questions. If the question asked is, "What did you do at work today?" the main word here is did, which is in the past tense, so your answer should be in the past tense too. For example, today I wrote a business brief. Don't worry if you realize you've made a mistake. It's okay to correct yourself. Record yourself speaking and listen to identify errors. IELTS results range from band scores of 1 to 9. However, there are not specific questions for different band scores, and there can't be, as the score isn't assigned until the end of the speaking test. Also, remember there are no quotas for IELTS band scores. Each individual is scored on their own merits. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos: Fluency and Coherence, Lexical Resource and Accuracy, and Pronunciation.
Great. Professor I, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, teacher.
Okay. You're a bit late though. Were you busy?
Because I was joining other live stream and I forget. I have a class.
All right. Okay, Nisha, thanks for letting me know, because I could see I think I go. Dahir has connection issue. He lost his connection. I tried to add him, but I'm not successful. Okay, so we are reviewing that all of the test part. Task 1, 2, and 3. Uh, Professor I. So remember, using different types of grammar is very important. Now, I'm going to ask this question one more time to Professor I. How do you spend your free time?
I spend my free time for writing journal and for baking.
For baking.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your answer, right? Now, Nishat, what about you? How do you spend your free time?
Yeah, being a student, usually I don't get much free time, but if I get free time, I usually spend my free time with my parents and with my friends and by reading books and visit every historical place with my friend. Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you remember the sound of and I explained on the other day?
And
N.
yes,
It
teacher,
should be
and
N, not and.
yeah.
N. Okay, remember
Mhm.
that. This is very important because this is a part of your pronunciation test. It is not and, it is N. Okay, your answer
Yes,
is, quite impressive, Nishat. But Professor
teacher.
I, remember that you have to elaborate a little bit more and
Okay.
use two different patterns. If you say, what is your answer again? I spent cooking and baking. This is what you say?
Uh, writing an article and baking.
Writing an article and baking. Okay, so let's give the answer this way. Um, I spend my free time mostly by writing an article, and when there is time, I also spend some more time in cooking because I love to cook. Look, try to make compound sentences, as I said.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
Compound sentences always brings higher marks in IELTS speaking. Okay, if someone says a simple sentence, I like writing an article and cooking, and if you say that I like writing articles when I've got time, and if during my free time I also love cooking because I love to cook, that's one of my hobbies. Okay, use a little bit elaboration with compound
Mm,
sentences and you'll get more
okay.
marks. Okay, very good. So we're
Okay, teacher.
the last part is pronunciation. How does pronunciation makes an impact in an IELTS score? Last video.
So, you've decided to take the IELTS exam. Well done. It's the test that's recognized and respected around the world. Here, we will look at the criteria of pronunciation. This is one of 4 criteria on which you will be tested. Look for the other 3 criteria in other videos. This criteria focuses on the accuracy and variety of pronunciation features, which include individual sounds. The spelling of a word can sometimes confuse this. For example, euphemism. Word stress. Stressing the wrong syllable in a word is a frequent error. For instance, it should be mistake, democracy. Word stress can be confusing when it changes with different parts of a word family. For instance, photograph, photography, photographic. Sentence stress. For instance, the way that some words in a sentence are emphasized or slightly louder. For example, if I were you, I'd go by bus. Intonation. The pitch of your voice changing as you talk. Monotone intonation is typical of someone who has memorized long responses. This may result in lower test scores. Chunking. Talking in a rhythm which delivers chunks of words with short silences in between. Good public speakers often use this skill. To improve your pronunciation, we recommend these steps. The first step is to find out how English intonation, sentence stress, and rhythm differ from your native language. Ensure you understand the effect of sentence stress and intonation on meaning. Then practice using these in different ways. Refer to a dictionary to confirm the correct word stress if you are unsure. Listening to a variety of authentic English sources will help you become familiar with a range of pronunciation features. For instance, listen to the BBC Radio or the Voice of America in whatever subjects interest you. Even if you're not listening closely, having the radio or television on in the background can help attune you to the rhythm and intonation of another language. Don't rush when you speak. That's a common mistake. You might skip sounds or words. It's better to speak clearly. Recording yourself can be very useful. Try to apply what you've learned about the different features of pronunciation in English. Chunking is a particular skill you can develop by recording yourself. The face-to-face nature of the IELTS speaking test encourages you to develop the skills you will need to interact successfully with English speakers. For more information, please see the other speaking test videos, Fluency and Coherence, Lexical Resource, and Grammatical Range and Accuracy.
Okay, what have you understood, Professor I?
Yes, teacher.
What have you from this video?
Mm, we have to pronounce and to what's it called? To stress or to use the good rhythm when we speak,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have to practice it, and also we have to listen to radio or broadcasting more for getting used
Okay.
to native speakers.
Yeah, and also they have said do not speak too fast or do not speak too
Oh
slow.
yeah.
Okay, remember this is
Okay.
very important information for you to be a good speaker, not only in IELTS exam, everywhere, especially you're making live stream, you're lecturing, you're taking interviews, you're presenting your annual meeting, agenda or any other presentation. It is a primal and vital factor for you, for both of you, Nishat, Dahi, Professor I, and the people who are listening to us. Remember that if you speak faster, what happens? It shows in the in the graph that you might slip some of the words. Your words may not be pronounced correctly, and your grammar would be impacted or affected. Okay, and stressing on the words. Remember, I explained to you maybe in every sentence there are some strong words, or we call them content words, and there are some weaker words or functional words. So strong words are those where we stress. Like in the sentence, if I give you the example, what's your name, for example? Yeah. Hang on a second. Say if I say this sentence, can you see? What's your name? We're stressing on name, and name is here the content word. Yeah. How? Even if you say someone else like name, then the person will understand you're asking the person's name. Is that clear, Nishat and Professor I?
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher.
it's
So here stressed word is name or strong word or content word, and your and words is weaker word or functional word. Did you get my point?
yeah.
Yeah, the weaker word is functional.
Yeah.
Teacher, functional word.
Functional words are called
What is?
weaker words where we are not stressing much. Content words
Oh,
are the
okay, teacher.
strong words where we are stressing. Like they gave two examples. One of them is mistake. If you see,
Mm-hmm.
mistake when you're using as a noun. If you remember, noun and verb. I've explained it last together, like address. Like if you stress on address, then it becomes noun, upper tone to down tone.
Oh, wow. I just know it.
Yeah, and when you're using as a verb, then down tone to upper tone, like address.
Don't
Like,
Dress.
may I have your
dress.
address,
Dress.
please? Yeah, I'm asking your
Address.
address. Yeah,
Address.
but if I say, how do I address you? That means I'm asking you a question. What I should call? Are you Mr., Mrs., Doctor, Professor, Teacher, Scientist, etc.? Is it clear, both of you?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now it's
So
clear.
let's have a test today. We have got 13 minutes more. Uh, what test do you like to take? Task 2 or task 3 of the speaking part?
Task 2 or task 3? Task 3, teacher.
Task 1 is,
Task 2 is difficult.
yeah, task 3 is a bit more analytical. They have explained, and it is like we need a specific, answer. Okay, let's move on to the task 3. Uh,
I think Ucha here.
Ucha,
Ucha is here.
I can't
I
see
can't
them.
see. Yeah. Ucha was before there, I saw, but now I can't see. Professor Rai, can you see Ucha's
Yeah,
profile?
If
I can see his profile picture.
if
Her
my
profile.
if my subscribers are here, please make a comment. Yeah, I can't see you unless you make a comment. The system doesn't let me see you. Okay, the way you are seeing. Okay, so let's do a speaking task 3. Um, quickly. Yeah.
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
What is value?
Now it's we start with the general topic. Remember, then IELTS task 3. There is no, hard and fast rule about the syllabus. They can ask you any topic, as they have mentioned that it could be a general topics, everyday life topic. Are you ready, both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you're back,
Bit nervous.
Tahir.
yeah, yeah, teacher.
I couldn't hear you. Were you here all the time?
Well, I don't know. I maybe there's a connection problem for my side.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, get ready. You have 3 minutes, all of you, to speak because we have got 11 minutes. Um, I'm going to ask you the same topic, so get ready. Who is going to speak first?
Yeah, I'm
Nisha.
nervous all time. But yeah, I can do, teacher. I will do first.
You will go first. Okay. Is family important in your country?
Should I start now,
Yes,
teacher?
yes. Don't wait. I'm
Okay.
asking question. You just answer it. Is family important in your country?
Yes, family is very important in my country because of we raised our family like from since childhood to adult. That's why family is very important in my country.
Okay. How has the size of the family changed in the last few decades in your country?
Before it was like in a family, like every family has 5 or 6 member, but now every family something like nuclear. They don't have much member in their family, one or two sons or daughter. Yeah,
Okay, remember 5 or 6 members. You've got,
or members. Yeah,
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 number. Okay. How do you think that the family will change in the future?
yeah. Like I think a family like will change in the near future by decreasing one member more because Bangladesh is my country is like a densely populated country as well as we need to grow more food for uh, more people. And if we talk about like um, education and other sector, we need to develop as well. That's why I think the family member will change near future. They prefer morning class only. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think should be the responsible for the care of elderly in your family?
I think both parents and I think both mother and father should be care of our child. But in my country, especially mother take care of their child.
Okay. Do you think that government should have a role to take care of the elderly people of your country?
Mm, uh, I think a government need to take a proper step on this because mm, uh, I don't know, teacher.
Okay, no worries. Thank you very much. Now, Professor
Thank you.
I, would you like?
Yes, teacher.
It's the same topic you're asking, okay? So, Nisha, thank you very much for your answer. You have done well, though there is one or two mistakes. Remember, don't worry for that. Mistakes are quite natural.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and Dahir, you get ready after Professor I. It's the same question.
Okay.
Is family important in your country, Professor I?
Yes, of course. In my country, family is important because family is base of our foundation of our generation. So since since past until now, family is important in my country.
Okay, and how has the size of the family changed in the last few years?
It's quite a change because nowadays family become uh, like less members, and then compared to the past, because in the past we can see that one family could have like four or five children in their family, and nowadays it changed to be just maybe three or two family members.
Okay, do you think that the family will change in the future?
I think yes, because in the future we will face like high cost of education, high cost of living. So in the future maybe people will consider how many children they will have, and then maybe many people will decide uh, to not have children.
Okay, the last question for you. Do you think that uh, in every family, grandparents should have a role?
Mm, pardon? Could you
Do you
paraphrase it?
do you think that in every family, grandparents should have a role?
Mm, yeah, of course, because like they they were like protecting and caring about uh, caring of our parents, and then uh, nowadays we have to take care of our grandparents because they are already old, and they have a limit of their physical or their ability uh, to help themselves. So we need to uh, protect them.
Okay, welcome, Dolly. Dolly, have you
Oh
joined?
my god, it's really hard.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Okay, Jolly, give me a quick second. Yeah?
Hello,
We
Dolly.
don't have much time though because we are taking a test. So I'll talk to you in a moment. Thank you very much, Professor Roy. Yeah, it is a
Okay.
hard topic though, easy topic, but hard topic.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay,
think it's easy, but I don't know.
okay, Dahir.
Yeah.
Dahir, are you ready?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Okay, the first question is family important in your country or not?
Yeah, it's obviously it's very important in my country, and life depends in the family in my country, and you cannot live without family, and it is hard to live without family in my country. My family consists of 8 members, and I'm the youngest one, and, and every person has his role, and we uh, my other person is my father in my country. I have to respect it. I have to listen. I have to take his directions, and we all same like that. Whoever elder for you, you have to respect it and listen. And his advice in my country is like that.
Okay. Actually, we don't have much time. Others, we could continue. Welcome, Dolly. Dolly, please tell us where are you from and what do you do?
Myself, Dolly, and I am from India.
Okay. From today, do not use.
Yet I'm a
Hang on a second, go on.
yes. Yet I'm a student, standard 12th. I'm studying in.
Okay, great. Thanks for subscribing to my lesson. When you're introducing, we do not use myself. Myself is a reflective pronoun. Simply say that I'm Dolly or this is Dolly. Okay.
Yes.
Remember that in
Yes.
English grammar, uh, we do not use, though I've seen in many Indian movies, they use this word myself, this, that, but grammatically in Western world, this is an unacceptable sentence. Okay. Simply, Dolly, and I'm from India. That's great. We'd have only 47 seconds. You could subscribe to the last moment. However, I'm going to make live stream after 10 minutes from my mobile. You'll be able to join freely, all of you. Nishad, so meet your classmate Nishad from Bangladesh, Dahir from Turkey, and Professor Ai from Indonesia. Okay, and we hope to continue tomorrow at same time, 6:30 my time. Please be prepared and watch this saved video so that you can have good knowledge about how the
Mm.
IELTS exam and the techniques work. Okay,
Okay, teacher.
thank you very much, Dolly,
Okay.
for subscribing once again. And also, well done, Professor I. Don't worry, Dahir and Nishad. Be
Thank you,
confident, yeah,
teacher.
all of you. Thank you very much. I'll
Yes,
see you soon.
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you.
Thank